David Sanborn is an American alto saxophonist. Though Sanborn has worked in many genres, his solo recordings typically blend jazz with instrumental pop and R&B. He released his first solo album Taking Off in 1975, but has been playing the saxophone since before he was in high school. Sanborn has also worked extensively as a session musician, notably on David Bowie's Young Americans. One of the most commercially successful American saxophonists to earn prominence since the 1980s, Sanborn is described by critic Scott Yannow as the most influential saxophonist on pop, R&B, and crossover players of the past 20 years. Sanborn is often identified with radio-friendly smooth jazz. However, Sanborn has expressed a disinclination for both the genre itself and his association with it. In his 3.5-decade career, Sanborn has released 24 albums, won 6 Grammy Awards and has had 8 gold albums and 1 platinum album. He continues to be one of the most highly active musicians of his genre, with over 150 tour dates in 2010. Early life: Sanborn was born in Tampa, Florida, and grew up in Kirkwood, Missouri. He suffered from polio for 8 years in his youth, and began playing the saxophone on a physician's advice to strengthen his weakened chest muscles and improve his breathing. Alto saxophonist Hank Crawford, at the time a member of Ray Charles's band, was an early and lasting influence on Sanborn. Sanborn initially attended college at Northwestern University, studying music. However, he transferred to the University of Iowa where he played and studied with saxophonist J.R. Monteros. Career: Sanborn performed with blues musicians Albert King and Little Milton at the age of 14. He continued playing blues when he joined Paul Butterfield's band in 1967. Although Sanborn is most associated with smooth jazz, he explored the edges of free jazz in his youth, studying with saxophonists Roscoe Mitchell and Julius Hemphill. In 1993, he revisited this genre when he appeared on Tim Burns' Diminutive Mysteries, dedicated to Hemphill. Sanborn's album Another Hand also featured leading avant-garde musicians. Recordings He has been a highly regarded session player since the late 1960s, playing with an array of well-known artists, such as James Brown, Brian Ferry, Michael Stanley, Eric Clapton, Bobby Charles, Cat Stevens, Roger Daltrey, Stevie Wonder, Paul Simon, Jaco Pastorius, the Brecker Brothers, Michael Franks, Kenny Loggins, Cassiopeia, Players Association, David Bowie, Todd Rundgren, Bruce Springsteen, Little Feat, Tommy Bolin, Bob James, James Taylor, Al Jarreau, Pure Prairie League, Kenny G, George Benson, Joe Beck, Donny Hathaway, Elton John, Gilbert Evans, Carly Simon, Guru, Linda Ronstadt, Billy Joel, Kenny Garrett, Roger Waters, Steely Dan, Ween. The Eagles, The Grateful Dead, the German singer Nena, Japanese pop star Utada Hikaru and Toto. Sanborn has won numerous awards including Grammy Awards for Voyeur, Double Vision and the instrumental album Close Up. His solo recordings have often featured the bassist multi-instrumentalist and producer Marcus Miller. He has also done some film scoring for films such as Lethal Weapon and Scrooged. In 1991 Sanborn recorded Another Hand, which the All-Music Guide to Jazz described as a return by Sanborn to his real, true love, unadorned jazz that balanced the scales against his smooth jazz material. The album, produced by Hal Wilner, featured musicians from outside the smooth jazz scene, such as Charlie Haydon, Jack DeJohnette, Bill Frisell, and Mark Ribot. His more recent albums include Closer. In 1994 Sanborn appeared in A Celebration, the music of Pete Townshend and The Who, also known as Daltrey Sings Townshend. This was a 2-night concert at Carnegie Hall produced by Roger Daltrey of English rock band The Who in celebration of his 50th birthday. In 1994 a CD and a VHS video were issued, and in 1998 a DVD was released. In 1995 he performed in The Wizard of Oz in concert, Dreams Come True, a musical performance of the popular story at Lincoln Center to benefit the Children's Defense Fund. The performance was originally broadcast on Turner Network Television, and issued on CD and video in 1996. Broadcasting activities Sanborn has performed on both radio and television broadcasts. He has also acted as a host. Since the late 1980s he has been a regular guest member of Paul Schaffer's band on Late Night with David Letterman. From 1988 to '89, he co-hosted Night Music, a late-night music show on NBC television with Jools Holland. Following producer Hal Wilner's eclectic approach, the show positioned Sanborn with many famed musicians, such as Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, Pharoah Sanders, Eric Clapton, Robert Cray, Lou Reed, Jean-Luc Ponty, Santana, Todd Rundgren, Yasser Andor, Perubu, Loudon Wainwright III, Mary Margaret O'Hara, Screamin' Jay Hawkins, Leonard Cohen, Woz, and Curtis Mayfield. During the 1980s and 1990s, Sanborn hosted a syndicated radio program, The Jazz Show with David Sanborn. Sanborn has recorded many shows' theme songs as well as several other songs for The Late Late Show with Tom Snyder. More recent activities In 2004, Sanborn was inducted into the St. Louis Walk of Fame. In 2006, he was featured in Gordon Goodwin's Big Fat Band's album The Fat Pack on the track Play That Funky Music, a remake of the Wild Cherry hit in a big band style. Sanborn often performs at Japan's Blue Note venues in Nagoya, Osaka, and Tokyo. He plays on the song Your Party on Ween's 2007 release La Cucaracha. On April 8, 2007, Sanborn sat in with the Allman Brothers Band during their annual run at the Beacon Theatre in New York City. In 2010, Sanborn toured primarily with a trio featuring jazz organist Joey DeFrancesco and Steve Gadd where they played the combination of blues and jazz from his album Only Everything. In 2011, Sanborn toured with keyboardist George Duke and bassist Marcus Miller as the group DMS. Discography Albums As leader Taking Off, Beck and Sanborn, with Joe Beck, David Sanborn, Promise Me the Moon, Heart to Heart, Hideaway. Number 2 jazz hit. Number 33 R&B hit, Voyeur. Number 1 jazz hit, As We Speak. Number 1 jazz hit, Backstreet. Number 1 jazz hit, Straight to the Heart. Number 1 jazz hit, Love and Happiness, Double Vision, with Bob James. A Change of Heart, Close Up, Another Hand, Upfront, Hearsay, The Best of David Sanborn, Pearls, Love Songs, Songs from the Night Before, Inside, The Essentials, Time Again, Closer, Original Album Classics, Dreaming Girl, Here and Gone, Only Everything, Then Again, The Anthology, Quartet Main, with Bob James, Time on the River. As Sideman with Stevie Wonder, Talking Book, with Mose Allison, Your Mind is on Vacation, with George Benson, Good King Bad, with Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run, with Tim Byrne, Diminutive Mysteries, with David Bowie, Young Americans with Gilbert Evans. The Gilbert Evans Orchestra plays the music of Jimi Hendrix. There Comes a Time Gilbert Evans live at the Royal Festival Hall London 1978, with Eagles, alto saxophone on the Sad Kafar copyright on album The Long Run, with Bobby Hutcherson, Enjoy the View, with Billy Joel, alto saxophone on Easy Money on album An Innocent Man, with Hubert Laws, The Chicago Theme, with Todd Rundgren. A Wizard, A True Star, Initiation, with Roger Waters, The Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking, with Elton John, Idol. With Paul Butterfield Blues Band, The Resurrection of Pigboy Creshaw, In My Own Dream, Keep on Moving, Sometimes I Just Feel Like Smilin'. DVDs Legends, Live at Monterey 1997, The Legends of Jazz, Showcase. Filmography Actor-host The Wizard of Oz in Concert, Dreams Come True, cast member in the TV staged musical, Scrooged, played a street musician, Sunday Night, was the host of this music show, Magnum P.I., was guest saxophonist in the episode L.A., Stel Solicitor. Himself Saturday Night Live, One Trick Pony, Late Night with David Letterman / Late Show with David Letterman, the first annual Soul Train Music Awards, the second annual Soul Train Music Awards, Benny Carter, Symphony and Riffs, Michael Kamen, Concert for Saxophone, Celebration, The music of Pete Townshend and The Who, Forget Paris, Burt Bacharach, One Amazing Night, the Kennedy Center Honors, a celebration of the performing arts, Eric Clapton and Friends in concert. Composer Moment to Moment, Stel Sulla-Sitter, Finnegan Begin Again, Psycho 3, Lethal Weapon 2, Lethal Weapon 3, Lethal Weapon 4. Musician Saturday Night Live, Murphy's Romance, Psycho 3, Lethal Weapon, Tequila Sunrise, Lethal Weapon 2, Lethal Weapon 3, Forget Paris, Lethal Weapon 4. Gear list, saxophone, Selma Mark 6 alto saxophone, manufacturer, Selma, location, Paris, France, retail value, $6,000, reeds, Vanderin V16 reeds, each reed lasts David roughly a week. Mouthpiece, a modified to a Koff D8 metal alto sax mouthpiece, ligature A Harrison ligature, bell jar. To keep his reeds humidified without over-soaking them, David soaks the reeds in water in a bell jar. First he soaks them for a couple of hours in the jar, and then empties out most of the water so that the reeds won't get wet, but will still stay humid. He finds this technique extremely valuable. Microphone, SD Systems LCM89. Personal life, Sanborn has owned 2 Chihuahuas, Miles and Lucy. They reside in a brownstone on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, New York City. References. External links, David Sanborn at AllMusic, interview by Pete Lewis, Blues and Soul, September 2008, interview, RunTrunRadio.com, David Sanborn at the Internet Movie Database.